have to slow down a whole bunch to let one car by, because if he does that, maybe a few more may go by. So we'll keep an eye on that now. But watching the progress of O'Ward as he continues to move his way forward.
The next car he has in his sights will be Romain Grosjean. Grosjean just now through turn 5. There goes Pato O'Ward. And keeping an eye on Santino Ferrucci. He is right on the tail of Simon Pagenaud.
And Bourdais is still in front of McLaughlin, while O'Ward is pulling in on Grosjean. Those two drivers, both of them, are moving nicely up through the field.
Jack Harvey making a move. He started back in 23rd position, and he's now closing up on the back of Connor Daly. So he's up to 18th. Harvey trying to get up one more spot.
O'Ward with a little bit of distance now to make up before he can make his next challenge of Grosjean, who's well out in front in that spot right now as they make their way down the straight. Grosjean in 9th, O'Ward in 10th. They're making their way down the straightaway. The front part of the field fairly well stretched out. In fact, most cars, really nobody making a challenge this lap down the straightaway, even all the way to the back of the field.
As we watch, I think it's going to be a little bit of concert times coming up here in just a little while as Grosjean tries to pull in Graham Rahal.
Yeah, that might be a race developing. It seems that second group of 5 are running comparable times, with Grosjean pulling in just a little bit every lap.
The top 9 all on the Firestone Reds, with the exception of Alexander Rossi running in 5th. They elected to start on the blacks, so that'll be a little different pit strategy for them. Bourdais still has not given up that 11th position to Scott McLaughlin. As O'Ward still in the 10th spot, he's about a little over a second and a half behind Romain Grosjean. Grosjean in turn is about a second behind Graham Rahal.
You know, John, at the very front of the field, it's pretty much station keeping with those first 4, maybe the first 5. Nobody actually pulling at this point. They're keeping their distances between them. Newgarden, Herta, Ericsson, Dixon, Alexander Rossi, that top 5.
Will Power just shoots his way to the front, but on these black tires, everybody's moving. It's a moving target until they get towards the end on the reds. So we also see Ryan Hunter-Ray talking to Jimmy Vasser, actually, about maybe something that happened on the racetrack.
Well, Davey, let's talk a little bit about the difference between the reds and the blacks for the layperson. Person might not be aware of what the difference is from a
prize money on offer that would keep you in a championship, not necessarily have you move on. And to be frank, Shea, and I'll be frank and you can be earnest, that with the kind of racing that we're seeing this year, I can understand that people want to sign up for multiple years in this and build their experience level and potentially challenge for championships.
Well, yeah, there's a reason that we have 2 former series champions running in this series this year. Michael Carter, who won it last year, not moving on. He stayed. We've got Brian Ortiz, who won the championship in 2019. He's back in it this year with 1 podium finish to his name so far. It's very much an alluring opportunity, not only to perfect your skills, but, as you rightly say, to be on the stage for the bigger teams. One of our team names in this series in particular, McCumbee McAleer Racing. That's 2 young men who have found a lot of success thanks to Mazda, racing in an MX-5 in what used to be the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge back then.
I would say from that, if I was in race control right now, I know that Shea will be keeping an eye and an ear on what's going on race control. Main time, 96 down the inside is the silver car. That's Jared again, and he likes that move. But he's not been given it as Wagner goes side by side. There's a touch round at turn 2, and remarkably, nobody hits the wall. The windscreen wipers are going on Jared Thomas's car. That's the least of his worries at the moment, because he can't turn around with the whole field coming round. My, that was very close indeed to disaster. Wagner's lost a place. as he went very sideways there. That could have been absolutely disastrous. Wagner rejoins way down, and I mean way down on the field. But that could have been so much worse here, Adam.
That could have been a massive pile-up, starting with about third back in the field, because when the track gets blocked there, people come through at high speed, completely unsighted.
Blind,
and it really
yeah.
is too bad, because Jared's pass on Gresham Wagner going into turn one was textbook.
Looks like he got it done, got the nose of the 96 car ahead. Wagner not prepared to give it up, and why should he? He's racing, he's on the inside there. Took too much curb on the inside, and I think it just bounced him into the 96. I have no problem with Gresham defending that, because he has got the left-hander coming, which is advantage him on that side of the road. But I think he just took a little too much curb on the left-hand side. It bunny hopped the car across, and the slightest touch on Jared Thomas's car. The cars are loaded up there. They're on the very ragged edge of adhesion. So a little dink, you could probably push the car. If you were running alongside that car at the time, which I know is daft because you couldn't be, you could probably just touch it with your little finger, and you would push the car into a spin. They are so on the ragged edge there. Carter's lead is 3.5 seconds from Pearley. Wagner back up into third, ahead of Mars, then Ortiz. Roland still with the fastest lap, but back up to sixth from Chris Noons, then Dan Williams, then it's Hernandez in ninth and Piscatel in 10th. 12 minutes to go, we're inside the last third of the race. Michael Carter ahead and controlling this, sitting just reeling off the laps around the mid one to low 125s. Shea Adam listening into race control.
They are examining that incident between Jared Thomas and Gresham Wagner. Yes, they have to, but there is something a little bit bigger at play here, John. That is the one portion of the track that race control pointed out to the teams for track limits. They said you must keep at least two wheels on the racing surface, i.e. if your right side tires are anywhere near the curb, we're going to ping you. And Gresham Wagner has been hitting the curbs the hardest by bystanders around the track, bringing us that information. So race control is making sure that Gresham wasn't using a little bit more of the racetrack than he was supposed to. But still, magnificent save from Jared Thomas not to hit the wall there.
Yeah, that's a quick entry into that little 1, 2, 3 section. In the pit lane, the number 26 is Peter Atwater's car, the Copeland Motorsport car. That's the one with the lime green on it. And that's another car.
And Eves have reacted in front of him. That is a defensive move. That's what you cannot do. But right now it is 3/10, and Rasmussen looking to the outside.
Trying the outside in turn number 5. They're going to be tight coming through. A little brake lock up there. Again across the bow. Eves comes through. The AMR safety team, the absolute best in the business, able to get this wreck cleared. But we're talking 3 cars, not a quick cleanup. We're going to end up with 6 laps under yellow.
And 2 different locations on the track, too, to get those cars cleaned up. Once we get back to green, let's go back to watching Braden Eves. As you mentioned, gained a couple of spots off the start, was able to move
on the track and in the paddock, and some really unique machines. That dihedral Samsonite Special, the wedge-designed turbine-powered STP machine, as well as that 1971 Samsonite car back in the paddock, all Joe Leonard-driven machines. So for that Vels Parnelli Jones racing team, Joe Leonard, a guy who won multiple championships and drove some of the more unique cars in IndyCar history, and we get to see those cars right here in front of us as well.
Hey everybody, just want to let everyone know that we have now concluded and wrapped up the Grand Prix Association of Long Beach VIP and IMSA Hot Lap cars out there giving their VIP rides. That has come to a conclusion, and I need to say a big thank you to Mike and everybody that coordinate that for giving me one heck of a ride around this place with Jake Tanaka. That was phenomenal. So lucky to be able to do it. Talk about getting a newfound insight and respect, not just for the drivers and what they do, but this track and what it presents in terms of challenges. It was absolutely phenomenal. And just, again, a big, big thanks to everybody. And, oh, boy, I'm still pinging. You know, that's an adrenaline rush extraordinaire. And I'm still pinging a little bit. And just gives you a little bit of insight as to what these drivers are going to be dealing with as the rest of this weekend unfolds. And believe me, folks, these Acura NSX machines are absolutely stunning in their performance level. And, you know, it's an amazing car. It is supercar performance. There's no question about it. Without paying supercar prices, Acura has really nailed it with the NSX. That was spectacular. Whew, what a ride. And also want to let everybody know that the foot crossings are open. Foot crossings are now open. So make sure you're aware of that. They'll be closing in about 10 minutes. So you've got 10 minutes to find one of the foot crossings and get yourself across track wherever that might be.
Fire suppression systems, having INDYCAR safety trucks and refueling areas to protect drivers and crew members on track. Available in personal foam cans for boats, RVs, and homes. Firebolt and Enforcer are an official partner of the AMR INDYCAR safety team.